cold. But it has warmed up to about 14 degrees, so it's not too bad. I think I'll live. So what am I doing? Well, I'm exploring the Tuscarora Trail today, just a little bit. I wanted to go up into the woods and make some coffee. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm gonna do. Might not be an easy one. It's in fact, it doesn't look that good. Right off the bat, it doesn't look that good. Looks like I'm gonna end up crossing a creek up here, but I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna film what I can, and then we'll go. I'm gonna make some coffee. I'm getting to that shelter and making some coffee, and that's my goal. Make coffee at the shelter. Wish me luck. Tuscarora Trail. Right there, baby. And it is cold. It is a cold one. And basically, I'm parked right alongside the road. That's all I got. This is trail. Second blue blaze, I already lost the trail. Right. Well, that's not good, man. Second blue blaze, you lose the trail. That would tell most people to turn around. Not most people. All right, I'm going. Okay, obstacle number 1. Cross the creek unscathed. Don't know that I'm gonna make it back. It didn't crack, the ice didn't crack, but at least I got across that ice. It looks like I may be able to actually walk on it. But I'm at the beginning of my journey. I didn't want to do that, man. I don't want to get my feet wet. Granted, I'm not far from the car, so all I would have had to do is turn around and be done, but give up. I'm not giving up. Not giving. So, anyhow, what I was going to do is cross right over here. But you can see the water's running. I think you could have jumped there and made it. I think I could have made it across. But, hey, I didn't have to. And here I see some blue blazes. There's another blue blaze there, so let's keep rolling. And basically this is what it is. Nothing looks like a trail. You see a blue blaze, and then you just kind of keep going. And what looks like it could possibly be the trail. And I kind of look for another blue blaze. There's one down there. Okay, so I'm on the right track. Okay, see it? It's the same thing. Keep going till you see another blue blaze. But there's nothing really trail about this trail. The thing about the Tuscarora Trail, a lot of it is on private land. There's a good portion that rides roads. So you find the road and you can kind of figure out, look at a whole bunch of turkeys just running up through the woods. Whole gaggle of turkeys. Yeah. But there's my blue blaze, and I see another one down this vicinity. So I'm going to keep going. Actually kind of looks like you can see almost sort of a trail. I'm going to keep going, get to that shelter, and then let you know where I'm at. And even though they're blue, it follows the same terminology as the Appalachian Trail. So when you see a double like that, it means there's a turn, right? Actually, I can see there's another one right there, so that's where my next one goes. My last one was down there. So you can kind of follow where the trail goes. This is a turn, but as far as trail, there's not much of it. There's not much of it. I believe I cut across this field at some point. I just don't see a blue blaze. So I'm not sure where to go. Alright, well I'm going to keep roaming around and looking for another one. Alright, so I was wrong about the field. Because I didn't see anything out there. So I kind of made my way back a little bit and did find another blue blaze in the woods here. So I'm going to keep rolling through the woods. And actually the trail looks kind of neat here. Kind of okay. So this must be a trail. Alright. Guess where I made it? Barclays Run shelter. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Man, this is a nice one. That's a nice looking outhouse there. This shelter is really, I mean, it's pretty slick. They made a nice one. There's a couple tent pads down here. Call it 5 or 6 tent pads down there. A nice picnic table. So even if it was crowded up here, you'd be in good shape. I came to visit the shelter, and man, I didn't expect such a beautiful looking shelter. I mean, I expected decent, don't get me wrong, but man, like, this is really just awesome. An awesome shelter. There's somebody's artwork of a crane up in there. Yeah, they've got all kinds of railroad tie things, nails to hang your packs. Really, really nice. Great job, PATC. Great job on this. This just beautiful shelter. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna find myself a space here, grab some sticks, get my coffee rolling, and then and we'll visit you. We'll visit you then. All right, so I'm here. I want my coffee, so I'm at the shelter. It actually warmed up a little bit. I mean, I don't feel like it's near as cold. Now that I stopped a little bit, yeah, I could see that it's a little bit chillier than I thought. But I'm gonna make my coffee anyway. And to do that, I'm gonna use my Solo Stove. Solo Stove is an awesome thing, man. It's a little wood burning stove. There's the pots, and here's the stove. And essentially what you do, you gather up a bunch of little sticks, and it doesn't take much. All these tiny, teeny sticks, and you shove them in there. And then you got a tiny little wood fire in here. These are my fire starters. So basically what you do is you take the smallest sticks. So let's gather some of these really tiny ones, right? And you just make a nice bed down in there. And then once you get this going, it really goes. I mean, it's a really pretty awesome thing. I'm gonna throw one of these in there just for some stability, right? And that way I'll have a spot for my stuff, my fire starter. I'll throw a couple more of these sticks in there, these tiny little ones. I can hear all kinds of animals and stuff floating around in here. And you want to leave yourself some air, right? So you'll get this going pretty quick. It's not that hard to get going especially when you got a fire starter. And then what I'll do is I'll throw this on here. I'm gonna light this one, I think. If I can get this lit. That way I know where to go. And all this here is old candles. That's all that is an old candle. We melted it down and put a cotton ball in there. One of those cotton pads. You know, one of Dawn's cotton pads, and then for face or whatever. I don't know, whatever you use those things on. And that's basically it. You just keep feeding this. You keep feeding it some wood, and some of this wood's already going. Right. And let me get some of this stuff on there. I want a variety of wood in there, right? Because some of this wood burns better than others. And some of it might be a little bit wetter even. I'm really just trying to get it going. Ooh, this little stuff here is going to go right up. Once that stuff goes, that stuff catches and it goes. And you could do it without even a fire starter. A lot of times you can get this, you just start with smaller sticks. I mean, you can see that one already went. And I've got some wood going already. And I'm just going to keep shoving some stuff in there. Realistically, I could even throw my water on here already. So let's do that. Let's get some water going for some coffee. Yeah, it'll be enough for coffee right there. And then whatever's left, I'm just going to warm right back up. Warm that water back up so it doesn't freeze. And you can see it's already going. I mean, it's already going. And then what I'll do is I'll just keep throwing sticks in there the whole time. And even with the pan on, there's this little opening that I can just get sticks thrown in there. You know, I can just keep it going. And then once it gets really going, it turns into a gasifier. So it's basically not even, it's burning the wood gas after it really gets going. And you'll be able to see that. It basically takes the air in here, and there's air things inside, right about in there, and it'll take that and gasify this wood. All right, let's get this on here, and I'll just roll. I mean, I'm just gonna roll. Just gonna keep throwing some sticks in there, and pretty soon I'll have my coffee, which will be very nice to have on this cold day. When I started out, I was 14, and now I don't think it's that near that. Well, it is near that, but it's not 14 anymore. It's probably 15. And I'll just keep feeding this. I'm just going to keep feeding it. I'm just going to keep feeding it. And they really made this nice. This shelter's got a real nice area here. It's got a real nice metal piece here just for cooking on. I mean, they did it right. They did it up right here. Yeah, I'm already starting to gasify. So I could really start throwing a couple bigger ones in there just to keep things going. You can hear it. You hear that? You hear the way it's going? I'm already gasifying some of that wood. So I'm going to keep dropping some in. And I tell you what, I will show you that once I get a couple more in and you can see it a little bit better. I'll show you what that gasification looks like. Okay, so in there you can see that's what a gasifier is. There are these little holes. There's holes on the bottom and air right here. The air goes in and it basically comes out of holes that are right about in here on the inside. There's a hollow kind of area here. And if you look, I mean, you can definitely see it gasifying. And all I'm using is tiny little twigs. In fact, I didn't even use that many. And you could hear it. I got water boiling. That is the gas, the wood gas. Look at that thing roll. I mean, that fire is going good, man. That fire is going good. And I'm already getting, you know, a little bit of a boil. All right, so as you can see, I've got boiling water. That's just boiling. So it's time to make some coffee. And essentially all I got to do for that, I do have a little thing to grab this, but I mean, it is not even bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some of this out into here. Preheat that cup a little bit. Get some going. And really I'm gonna boil some more water up here. And since I got it, I'm going to heat it up. And that way it'll keep that from freezing. So for coffee, basically what I do is I take these little Starbucks Vias, right? And sometimes I do one, sometimes I do two. There's a little thing, but you know what? My fingers aren't really working that well, so I'll just chop it off, dump her in there. And actually, I'm going to double this one up. I'm going to make this one a double. Right. And then take a spoon. Now, I've got a spoon somewhere here. I want to use my spoon. I'm going to stir this little baby up. And as you can see, I bring sugars. I'll throw a couple sugars in there. Fingers work. And this little bit of coffee will be perfectly fine to get me warmed up. Burn that one up too. Be perfectly fine to warm me up. My fingers are already warmed up. Ooh. And that's my deal, man. Enjoying some coffee around a little stove. Woo! Get some heat going. And yeah, this little solo stove is pretty awesome. What I like about it is that it's wood. I don't have to carry any fuel. Now it's a little heavy compared to other stoves, alcohol and ethanol, or an ethanol stove that you could use. They're super light. There's nothing to them. But you can run out of fuel. This here, you're in the woods, man. You're not going to run out of fuel ever. I'll sacrifice that little extra weight, being that I'm constantly around trees and I can constantly just do this. It's super easy to get going, super easy. But yeah, man, so here I am. Take a sip of this coffee. It's gonna be hot. Ooh. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one, man. And there you go. All right. So coffee time. And I mean, while I'm at it, I might as well just keep this thing rolling, this stove going. Keep a little bit of heat rolling here. So today, I just needed to get out. I've got the winter blues, man. It got a little too cold, and that was keeping me inside. But then I realized, you know, that's an excuse. And I hate excuses. You know what I mean? There's nothing keeping me from going out. I mean, it's just me being a wuss, not wanting to deal with the cold. There's a guy I follow, started his AT thru-hike, halfway up. I think he did half last year or whatever. I just started following this guy, a guy named Teardrop, and he wanted to be the first one on the trail. And unfortunately, it is brutal here, here in the middle of the trail this time of year. Brutal. Single digits last night. I woke up to single digits this morning. And brutal cold. So I don't know how he's faring. I wish him well. Teardrop, I wish you well, Betty. Keep it going. Keep it going. It's cold, but you'll survive. We're supposed to, the East Coast is supposed to get a pretty wicked snowstorm coming up here. You make it through that, man. You can make it through anything. Man, my toes are cold. My toes are cold. Wish there was something I can do about my toes. Something I can do is take my shoes off, wrap them up, and I could even wrap them up in a blanket. I actually have a fleece that I took off because it was kind of warm. I mean, this water is virtually boiling, and I can dump it right in there. Right, and then I've got a hot water bottle to keep myself warm. So if you're ever going in the wintertime, definitely don't skimp. It's worth the wait to take an Nalgene. I mean, worst case, even if you are using it for the winter time and it's starting to get warmer, then you switch to smart water bottles to save weight. If you're gonna be in cold weather, Nalgene is the way to go. Because right now, I mean, I've got a nice heat source inside my jacket. And my hands, throw them right in the pockets. I'm holding on to this thing. Nice heat source. But I'm actually toasty with this Nalgene in here. I put my hands in there. My hands are nice and warm. I'm cuddling up next to Nalgene, warming up, drinking my coffee. And that's what I got going on, man. That is my day. That is my day. Man, it's a good day. It is a good day when you're out here doing this stuff. Awesome. At this point, I'm going to gather up my garbage. Actually, I'm going to put that baby back in here for a little bit. That was nice. keep that going for a little while I finish my coffee up. One of the advantages I like about doing it next to a shelter here, there's always a fire pit. The fire pits are normally fairly cleared out, so dumping this little bit of ash in the fire pit is nothing. I hear a woodpecker. Cool. Nice and warm. Solar stove away. I have myself a little bar where I leave. Pack that up. Pack up my garbage. Throw that right in here. Coffee cup. Don't need that. I do need my gloves out, and I do need my water bottle. And my fingers are getting frostbite. All right, ready to go. See ya. Almost forgot. I need you. I didn't really forget. One last thing I almost forgot. A lot of these shelters on the Appalachian Trail and in the Tuscarora Trail have guidebooks, and this is a really nice one here. Look, they've left the Bible in there. There's some stuff in here, excess stuff. Somebody left cigarettes in here. And yeah, some other stuff. Yeah, matches. These guidebooks are really interesting to read sometimes. Now it's very cold. I'm not going to deal with it right now, but there's when people walk by here, some people write long things in these guidebooks, and I mean, they're really awesome to come up here and read. There's some good stuff in them. I didn't go through this one too much, but there's some really interesting things in these guidebooks. Now I'm leaving the shelter now. It's 14 degrees. I'm cold. And I just want to make it back up. Or back home, whatever you want to call it. Wanted to show a couple of these tent platforms though. I mean, if you look, there's tent platforms here too, and there's a whole nother lean-to down there. Not a lean-to, but a picnic table and stuff. So they've got it situated real nice up here, this Barclays Run shelter. Real nice. And that's the shelter. And we are bidding that shelter a fond farewell. The guys who made it, thank you very much, man. Awesome shelter. Very awesome shelter. Awesome campsite. I would love to stay here one time, and I'm going to probably in the summertime. In the summertime, I'll come up and do that. Looks like there's plenty of room for hammocks. So, alrighty, making my way out. So I'm making my way out along this field here. The field I thought it crossed into, but it doesn't. The trail kind of winds around and makes its way around that field. And pretty good ways up there is where that shelter is, the Barclays Run shelter. There was a spring there. I didn't get to see where it was. I didn't take a look too deep. But now I'm just making my way out. Making my way out. A lot of this is overgrown. Somebody came through, looks like maybe in the fall, cut some of this stuff back. So that's nice. Just got to get that beginning part of that trail and maybe get a little bit more worn down. A little bit more traffic coming through here. And I think it'll be all right. But it's a nice looking little area, little trail. And you got some deadfall like this. You know, you got to climb over, but for the most part, it's a nice looking trail. It's definitely a little nice trail. And fairly short. A little over a mile maybe to get to that Barclays Run shelter from Route 50. Now I could have went further and got to that Bye-Bye Wilderness Trail. Another 3 miles or so would have got me there, according to the map. And I'm going to do that in the spring. But for now, this is it. This is all I'm doing. It's way too cold. If you stop moving, man, it just freeze right up. My toes are frozen. My fingers were frozen there for a moment. Coffee definitely helped. Coffee at that shelter definitely helped, man. But man, can't beat this, man. It's a good day when you can get out into the woods, even when it's 14 degrees out. It's a good day, man. It's a good day to be in the woods. All right, I'm gonna sign off, and we'll catch you later.